Morning, folks. Welcome to another daily devotional. We continue this morning looking at the 10th commandment. And having pointed out yesterday just the fact that this commandment really searches our hearts, I want us to think this morning of what is the meaning of this commandment? What does it mean to covet? Now, it's important that we don't think for 1 minute that God is saying that we're not to have desires after things. It's right to have desires. And in actual fact, the word that's used here, that's translated covet, is not always used in a negative sense. The word covet itself is actually a neutral word. In and of itself, it doesn't imply wrongdoing or sin. It depends on the context in which it is to be used. The translation from the original in the Hebrew and also in the Greek simply means to crave or to yearn for something. Now, it can be done in a good and positive way. For example, in Psalm 19 and verse 10, the psalmist says about God's word, his commandments, they are more to be desired than gold, yea, much fine gold. And that word to be desired is the same word that is used in Exodus 20 and verse 17 for coveting. It's also used in Song of Solomon in chapter 2 and verse 3, where the writer says, like an apple tree among the trees of the wood, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down under his shade with great delight. And the word there, great delight, is the same word covet, something that with great desire I desired him. It's a good, legitimate desire. When you move into the New Testament, you find the same thing. In 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2, the Greek word that is the equivalent of the Old Testament word for covet is used here as newborn babes desire the pure milk of the word. So this word coveting is not in itself implying something sinful or wrong. What it does forbid is desiring something that is not yours and to which you have no right. What the commandment forbids is the longing for that which belongs to someone else. Our neighbour here is any other person. So one looks at one's own circumstances in life, one looks at what one possesses, one owns, one thinks about one's own achievements and compares that with someone else. And we see that they have more than we have, maybe a bigger and better house, maybe a bigger and much more modern car. We look at their circumstances, everything in their life's going well, our life we're struggling, they're healthy, we're not so healthy. They have achieved much in life. Their kids get great results in school and so on, ours don't. And we think to ourselves, I want what they have. That is sinful. One commentator says to covet in the 10th commandment means to set one's heart on that which is not rightfully ours. Another one says that it is a consuming desire to possess in a wrong way something that belongs to another. In our denomination, as you know, the subordinate standards of faith are the Westminster Confession of Faith and the larger and shorter catechism. And in the shorter catechism at question 81, the question is, what does the 10th command forbid? And the answer is the 10th commandment forbids all discontentment with our own estate, that is, with our own situation, our own circumstances. It forbids any envying or grieving at the good of our neighbour and all inordinate motions and affections to anything that is his. So this is what it means to covet in a sinful and wrong way. We must remember that coveting in this sense is wrong. It forbids us from wanting, craving, passionately desiring what other people have and that we do not possess. God willing, tomorrow we'll think about why this commandment has been given to us by God. In the meantime, have a blessed day, folks.